Committee of Adjustments meeting, March the 5th, 2024. Please note that this meeting is being broadcast and recorded. Recordings will be made available on the town's YouTube channel. At this time, if you have any cell phones or devices, please put them on mute. And I also introduce the folks that are here. I'll start with our staff at present. To my immediate left is Adam Sabansky, Chief Administrative Officer, our Senior Planner, Patty Richardson, our Planning Technician, Lisa Smeekins, and on virtually, Corinne Nada, Chief Building Official and Interim Manager, Planning and Development Services, County of Lambton. I will introduce our committee. To my immediate right, Jennifer Turk, one of our committee members, Councillor Mike Vasey. To my left, Deputy Mayor Nettie McEwen, and committee member Les Goldhawk, and I am the chair, Bruce Moulton. I would ask the committee members that if there are any declarations of pecuniary interest, please present them at the appropriate time. All of our committee had the opportunity to read our minutes. At this time, are there any errors or omissions? Seeing none, I have a motion by Les Goldhawk, seconded by Nettie McEwen, that the minutes of the regular committee meeting of adjustment, the regular committee of adjustment meeting be held February 13th, 2024 be approved as presented. All those in favor?
I think.
Yeah, me too. Thank you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read both severance applications and then we'll have our planner talk about both. So I'm going to read both. So take notice, we have severance application number B-0724. Take notice that an application has been made by Brown, Beatty, O'Donovan, LLP agent for Vandermolen Homes Incorporated with respect to the property known as Parts 1, 2, and 5, Plan 25R-1139, Town of Plympton-Wyoming, 489 and 491 Main Street. The applicant is requesting permission to sever 500.58 square meters, 5,420 square feet from the above noted property. The subject lands have an existing semi-detached dwelling. The proposed severance would occur along the common wall. The subject property is zoned residential 2-6 R2-6 as per the Town of Plympton, Wyoming zoning bylaw 97 of 2003. So that's severance application 0724, and I will also read severance application B-0824. Take notice that an application has been made by Brown, Beatty, O'Donovan, LLP agent for Vandermolen Homes Incorporated with respect to the properties known as Parts 3 and 4, Plan 25R-1139, Town of Plympton, Wyoming, 487 and 485 Main Street. The applicant is requesting permission to sever 393 square meters, 4,230 square feet from the above noted property. The subject lands have an existing semi-detached dwelling, and the proposed severance would occur along the common wall. The subject property is zoned residential 2-6 R2-6 as per the Town of Plympton, Wyoming bylaw 97 of 2003. At this time, I will refer to our planner, Patty Richardson, for her reports.
Okay, so these applications are really quite simple on the face of them. You've got a semi-detached unit on each of the lots that has 2 units and 1 on each side. We're simply severing each lot in half so that each unit can be conveyed away in a separate ownership. In a roundabout way of getting here, we kind of went through a path we shouldn't have through the part law control, and I explained that in my report, that we couldn't do part law control on these lots because they were created by consent. So that's what brought us here today. It's been a while, but I can recommend these to you. I mean, the use on the property complies with the zoning bylaw. The use of the property complies with the residential designation. The lots comply with the minimum lot area and lot frontage, as do the location of the dwellings on the lot. So I can recommend these applications to you. I have put a few conditions in, but those are just normal conditions for getting the deed stamped and getting the appropriate fees. I think that's all I have to explain.
Thank you. And I believe that we have attending virtually. Are they on, Lisa?
They are not. It turns out I had sent them the wrong link, so I sent them the correct one shortly before the meeting. Have not.
Well, we will continue then. Without them here, I guess I will refer to our committee. And our committee can ask questions to our planner, and obviously not to the folks that are applying for the severances. So I'll start with our counselor, Mike Vasey.
I have no questions at this time. Thank you.
Jennifer?
I have no questions, but if the applicants don't get a chance to speak, how do we complete going through the process of a committee of adjustment?
Oh, we can do it without them here. I mean, we have their application here, so.
Right, but they haven't had a chance to have their say if they haven't been provided the proper link. So the process hasn't been completed.
Well, I would think I'll refer to Adam. Adam, I believe that we've done it before without the folks here. I agree that they should have an opportunity to speak. I guess the question would be if there are questions that we can't answer, that the committee.
More of a planning legislation question, so I'd actually like to refer to Patty on this question.
Okay.
Oh, the applicant's logging in right now.
Okay.
Okay. Just to clarify, we can continue without the applicant being here. These applications have come in the way they've come in because we couldn't deal with it through part law control. They're fully aware of what we're doing here, and they signed the applications. Nothing has changed from the submission. We're doing exactly what the application asked.
At this time, I will refer then, sorry, to Dane Vandermolen. Dane, you're on. You know the report that Patty Richardson put forth. I'm just wondering if you have any questions or comments from that report.
Hi, sorry, I I just got the link here. I was watching on YouTube, so I didn't realize that a new link had been sent. I just found it and got on. I don't have any questions at all. I think it was just a case of the wrong paperwork being submitted initially by what we were provided. I don't think I have any questions. If anybody has any questions they'd like to ask me, then go ahead, but.
Okay, so far I've had two committee members, no questions at all. Jennifer, you don't have any questions for
No,
Dane?
now that the applicant is on, that's good.
Okay. Deputy Mayor McEwen.
No, I have no questions. It's all fully explained and we're getting everything straightened out here.
Okay. Les?
No, I didn't have any questions either.
Great. I have no questions either. So at this time, I will call a motion. So I'm going to do both, Dane, I'm going to do both severances separately. So I will read one, read the whole or the motion, and then I'll read the next motion after that, after it's been carried or defeated. So I have a motion moved by Mike Vasey, seconded by Jennifer Turk, that report SR-24-036 by Patty Richardson, Senior Planner, dated February 26, 2024, regarding consent application B-0724, affecting lands known as 489 and 491 Main Street to sever parts 1 and 5, Plan 25R-1139, from the balance of the lands described as Part 2, Plan 25R-1139, be approved subject to the following conditions. Number one, a copy of the deed must be submitted to the Secretary Treasurer in a form suitable for registration. Number two, additional severance fees as required by the town have been paid before the deeds are endorsed. And number three, the conditions must be satisfied and the deed presented within 2 years from the date of decision or the consent will lapse. Calling the question, all those in favor? That motion is carried. I will read the second motion and then I'll explain what we have to do after that. So I have another motion by Nettie McEwen, seconded by Les Goldhawk, that report SR 24 038 by Patty Richardson, Senior Planner, dated February 26, 2024, regarding consent application B 0824 affecting lands known as 487, 485 Main Street to sever Part 3, Plan 25R-1139 from the balance of the lands described as Part 4, Plan 25R-1139 be approved, subject to the following conditions. Number one, a copy of the deed must be submitted to the Secretary Treasurer in form suitable for registration. Number two, additional severance fees as required by the town have been paid before the deeds are endorsed. And number three, the conditions must be satisfied and the deed presented within 2 years from the date of the decision or the consent will lapse. Having read the motion, call the question, all those in favor? And that motion is carried. Mr. Vandermolen, this, we have a 20-day appeal period. You can be in contact with Lisa. She'll let you know what if you have to do anything or whatnot, she'll be in contact, but there's a 20-day appeal period. Do you have any questions?
No, I don't.
All right. We'll move on. So Lisa, do we have any business arising from the previous meeting
No, we do not.
or old business? So new business. I'll ask our committee. I'll start now on my far left. Les, anything?
No.
Nettie?
Oh, yeah, I think.
Jennifer? Mike?
Nothing, sir.
Anything from planning?
No.
All right. What's that? I've asked
Oh,
you,
I think.
no one here wanted to speak to those applications?
I do have a question.
Oh, certainly.
Since after 2 years, nothing happens and it's rescinded, what does that do to the homeowners? And I'm not saying it would ever happen, but what would that do to the homeowners who now have land that isn't severed again? You said there was a 2-year period that, and I'm sure everything will be fine, but this will be a question my own lawyer is gonna ask is what happens in 2 years if something goes wrong with that? Now we're sitting on land that isn't severed again.
Right. For them to convey the land, the deeds would have to be stamped. So for the ownership of one or the other side of that semi to come into private ownership, say yourself, the deed has to be stamped so it can be registered.
Right.
So the chances of that happening, because they would like to convey the units away, so they're gonna have the deed stamped as soon as they can.
They want to get paid for my house.
Yes, they do.
Thank you.
And I didn't have any other requests to speak, but if you have a question, sorry, my apologies.
Okay, I didn't submit, so I wasn't sure if I could. Just a question on, does the engineer's final sign off on the grading have to be completed before they can be conveyed?
It's not a condition of the approval.
Grading certificates have been provided to the town already at this point.
Go ahead, Adam.
So what usually occurs is at the end of the project, the builder provides a grading certificate to our engineering department. Our engineering technician will actually go out and confirm the grading meets the intent of the grading plan. And then he will let our finance department and the building department know, and then final release from the building permit will occur. So I don't know what stage that is at. If you would like further information into that, Josh Booth is our engineering technician and he works directly with the builders on those projects.
Yeah, everybody.
Any other? Sorry, my apologies. I normally have a list of anyone that needs to speak or wants to speak on it, but yeah, sorry about that. Lisa, we have next week We have another committee of adjustments meeting. How many applications are we gonna be looking at?
So for next week's meeting, I believe there is 7 applications, maybe 8. And Randy has made the staff reports for those. I think there's 7 applications are being heard over 5 staff reports. There's a couple where it's a consent attached with a minor variance. So both are being heard under a single staff report. So yeah, so there'll be 7 applications heard as 5 staff reports at next week's meeting.
Thank you.
Make up for tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I have a motion by Jennifer Turk, seconded by Mike Vasey. The Committee of Adjustments meeting be adjourned and the next meeting be scheduled for March 12th, 2024 at 5:15